Can I examine your gorgeous face? No? Okay. Bruno, can you stop hitting on her? Sorry. Whip me harder, Miss Tusspell. Bruno, you're so weird. And it seems very stiff, too. In fact, it's really hard. That's not the only thing that's hard. What did you say, Bruno? Nothing. Ooh, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the Story-Driven Gamer, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are hopping back into the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. In the last episode, a lot happened. We got to visit Van Zieks' office for the first time, and it was as immaculate as you would expect it to be. We also finally met with our defendant, who will, well, be defending. What's in her? Hairbrain. And we found out a bit about, through both of them, we found out a little bit about Van Zieks, how they actually went to school together, and that Van Zieks was very different in those days when Hairbrain knew each other. They were friends, and Hairbrain described him as like an easygoing, carefree, cool guy. And we're like, sorry? Are we talking about the same Van Zieks here? So apparently something happened, I think very soon after he graduated, I think they said, that changed him, but we don't know what, so that's exciting. We also briefly met Van Zieks' apprentice, and I do mean briefly. He didn't say a word. He's full of mystery. Apparently he was appointed to be Van Zieks' apprentice by the order of Strongheart, or on his orders, so that's suspicious. And then lastly, we made it to the this, I keep forgetting what this is called, this London, not fair, but like this London showcase exhibition thing, science-y exhibition, whatever you want to call it, where we ran into Gregson here and Gina, my fave, my bestie. Now she is one of my favorite characters from the last game, so I was very happy to see her back. She's kind of fun to voice. And yeah, she's just fun, and she's an inspector now. Still a little rough around the edges. I wouldn't say she's a goody two-shoes. She's still getting herself into trouble, stealing every once in a while, but her heart is in the right place. And yeah, so we got to just investigate this place a bit. Found some more evidence, but I meant to look over again before I started recording, but I forgot. We didn't find that much. We found this contraption thing that still looks kind of like a crossbow, or maybe it's some kind of crank. Piece of green cloth. Oh, what did I say last episode? I said it could be like a cloak or something, or a cape. And then this experiment, which shows the beam pointing up at the tower, but you can't really see where the hole is in this picture. But yeah, I think all that's left really to do is we're about to go find Sholmes. He's at some place. Where is he? Madame Tusspell? Sounds almost like a fortune teller or something. I don't even know. If they explained what that place even was. I'm assuming the location will be important, or we're gonna meet somebody there who's important to the case, because otherwise, I don't know why we'd go meet Sholmes at some random place like that we've never been to before. You could just as easily have been like, let's meet him at the house or something, But we'll find out what that's about. I feel like we've got to be coming up pretty close to the end of this section. As I said at the end of the last episode, if this ends up being like 10 or 15 minutes or something before the to be continued, we'll obviously continue. But yeah, this might be a shorter episode. It really depends. Like if this goes on for like maybe 40 minutes before to be continued, I might end it. We'll see. It all depends on timing. But I've talked on long enough, so let's head on over to Tusspell's. That's not the right button. This is the right button. Yeah, Madame Tusspell's. However you say her name. Oh, a museum of interesting waxwork exhibits not far from Baker Street. It's become a very popular London attraction in recent years. Let's go. 22nd of October. Madame Tusspell's Museum of Waxworks. So it's like the wax statue. Oh, what the? Oh, this is freaky. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes, but why are all the people so still? It's freaking me out, man. Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight. Yeah. What a great way to start the episode. They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? Yep. They look very anime. What do you think, Bruno? Shocked? Wax models? Ah, what is this? I read about dead bodies in wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. This is beyond my wildest imagination. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. It's called what? A diffuser? Never heard of that, but Runo, you need to calm down. Stop talking about creepy things like that, Runo. You're scaring me. Anyway. Oh, you're gonna make me say it again? A diffuser? Okay. I missed that completely. Because I was trying to... Wait, how do I get the history? Oh, there we go. A diffuser doesn't form readily, you know? It's only in very specific... Ah! What now? I've just remembered something else I read. In another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. Okay, Bruno, you really need to chill out. Chill the F out, bro. None of the exhibits in here are real. Come on, Bruno, I'm like 5. And I'm not scared. They're all entirely man-made replicas. They can't be. Do you expect me to believe that? You liar! Just look at them! Oh. They look very, like... oh my god, they're Sholmes. Compared to, like, the real people in the game, they look like pictures. They look like 2D, like, anime-style drawings. Wait, sorry, did I read that? There's no way anybody can make models of people that are this realistic. And also, it's gruesome scenes. Yeah, that's a bit creepy. Wait, something's not right here. One of these things is not like the other. What is it? Oh, no. I must be seeing things. Let's carry on. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Wait a minute. What the heck is that? I mean, it's hard to say. This is... Okay. Okay. I can examine. I'm gonna save. I'm not gonna talk to Sholmes just yet. Okay, I guess I shouldn't. I guess I should go for this. That big heavy curtain is in a prominent position, isn't it? I have a nasty feeling there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it. Gee, what gives you that idea, Ryunosuke? Oh yes, that's the famous Tusspell special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look? Nah. Pay more money? To be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment. No. I'm good. It was only a suggestion. Calm your tits, Runo. Okay. Let's go this way. Who the heck are you? Is this some infamous murderer? Yes, called Jane the Ripper. All her victims were young women. Ah, I knew it. You can tell by the way she's holding that knife. Sure sign of a murderer. Murderer. Well, yes, that's the idea. Ah! What's the matter, Runo? I've worked it out. I know what she's doing. Do you now? She's trying to fill the bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in her victim's gore. Not according to the information about the exhibit on the little board here, but you do you. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub. Really? Sorry, I don't think it's significant. I still think it has to be there for a reason. This is a detective game after all. Everything is here for a reason. Okay, so I guess that's it. Okay. Now, I wonder if the idea of wax figures will come into play. Oh, we examined the coat. We didn't examine the arms sticking out. I'm gonna save that for a little bit later. But like I said, I'm thinking about how this location might come into play, and if we're meeting at a wax figure museum, maybe we'll find out that like the Asman that was in the machine was a wax figure of him or something. I don't know. Maybe there's a switcheroo. Who are you guys? Hang on. Actually, let me examine this exhibit. Is this an example of Western Shujigiri? Sure. Another thing I don't know what it means. I don't know what that... Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that is, dummy. I'm with you, Iris. You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword? Not what it looks like. I still don't know, no. But actually, a waxwork samurai will probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, do you think, Runo? Doing that Shujigiri thing you mentioned? Well, I do have a sword, but I have no intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least. We'll save that for later, Oh, here's a ladder. Is that important? Can we continue our ladder debate? Oh, that's a funny place for a little ladder. Don't make me say it. What is it? Is something wrong? No. It's just that in Japanese, we have a totally different word for a ladder that folds in half like that. What could it be? Step ladder, perhaps? We do in English too, you know. It's a step ladder. Or just steps. I just didn't think I needed to say it. So be careful when making assumptions about other cultures, Runo. That's how wars are started. Oh gosh. The Great Stepladder War. I didn't realize stepladders were an international point of contention. But the writer makes an astute point. Gotta love it. Now that I think about it, I don't think we've had the stepladder debate in these games yet, right? It's just been the spade debate. Spade versus a shovel. Okay. We'll hold off on you. What about you guys? I think these guys might be real. These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human. Because like I said, the wax figures actually look like cartoon drawings. These guys are 3D models. Or maybe all the exhibits are real people. Could you imagine? And when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about. Oh gosh. Ugh. Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already. And I was on my way home. It's just like Five Nights at Freddy's. Except instead of, whatchamacallem, animatronics, it's wax figures. Oh, that would actually be a cool idea for a horror game, I guess. Okay, so I still think that these are real people based on how they look compared to the other things. Okay, I guess let's examine this before talking to, who's a whatchits, Sholmes. Is this an arm? I think so. It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the waxwork models has fallen over. You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you? Runo, stop scaring me. Is it a wax arm or a real one? Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels. Objection! Like that? Okay, we're not actually gonna figure that out. Again, based on my theory though, it might not be a wax model because it's 3D. Okay, I think all that's left is to talk to Sholmes. He's trying to pull a fast one on us. It is I, the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, in the flesh. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really? Well, he's world famous after all. I know we came here to meet with him and everything, so I'm sure it's just a coincidence. It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it. I mean, look at it, it's hideous. I know. But look, Bruno, you can kick this Hurley, and he doesn't move a muscle. Oh my gosh. See, he just flew 10 feet in the air, but he stayed still. You can't go around kicking the exhibits, Iris. Wait. Ow, my nuts! It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either. Really? Did it? It sure did. And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. It's a ghost! Everybody, get out of here! Shall we move on, Iris? Let's go. Like now. Over there. Look. There's a great murder scene to enjoy. Much more appealing. Hold it. My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner, as if you see something truly abhorrent. Did I fool you guys? I knew it. Mr. Sholmes. It's really you. I knew it. Did you, though? Did you, Inosuke? Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick! Could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me. But Bruno has something he needs to ask you. Okay, so she was in on it. Ah, a question? Go ahead. And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are. Aren't you glad to see us? Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more of being stationary like that. And my great brain, upon which all my success has been built, would have turned to wax. It is so large, you see. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss. Oh, Hurley, you do like to talk nonsense, do you? Don't you? You could know something. It's true. About Lord Van Zieks and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For you are in luck. I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, goody. Oh, well actually, I'm in quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it's related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? Are we gonna do logic and deduction and reasoning spectacular thingy? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow, but for now I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? Maybe he's undercover. Maybe he's spying. Okay, there isn't like new dialogue now, is there? No. It doesn't appear like there is. Oh, except now I can examine these guys. Okay, let me just... I didn't present any of this evidence to him, right? Mr. Sholmes, about this. As you'll see, I'm rather busy at the moment. If it's advice you seek, come to my office tomorrow and I shall be happy to help you. Shall we say threepence per item as a consultation fee? That's 2 hours of gas, that is. Back to being a statue. He's probably gonna say that for all of these, but just in case. Okay, just as I thought. Can I talk to him at all, or...? Madame Tusspell's. What is this place? Madame Tusspell came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan, too. But these displays are something else. Clearly, since you're spooked by him. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? Of course they are. The extreme realization of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tusspell's family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxwork's victims in the guillotine. Ugh. That sounds grim. That it does. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned. Apparently, the sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses, right there at the site of the executions. Okay, that is dark. That really turns my stomach. Yeah, really. That's just one of several legends about the Tusspell's family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous peoples from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is this House of Horrors. Oh, okay, this is a section of the museum. House of Horrors? Yes, the House of Horrors. You got it. Of course, visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. Aha, makes sense. So, they're even stiffer now than the models of them. Ah, get it? Have you heard of poor taste? Can't say that I have. My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. Not wrong. So the hideous exhibits in here are... they're all portrayals of real events that actually took place. Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? I'm sure they have to keep it very cool in there, right? I don't think I've ever actually been to a wax museum. But I would imagine they're probably pretty cool. Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, he's back to being a waxwork, is he? Thanks for that. Temporary waxwork. What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibit here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour, I home in on a different killer in one of the displays and adopt a new pose to ensnare him. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. Ah, he's doing the celebrity thing. He's pretending to be a wax figure, and then when a fan comes by, he's like, oh, it's really me. Ah ha ha. Handshake, autograph, goodbye. For a shilling, I'll happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? Sounds like a waste of time. My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money! Aha! Okay. At least he's being honest. You really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent. And I have the ravenous Iris to consider. So he's not doing it out of greed. Oh, Hurley, I'm so hungry. If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruhodo. What's he threatening to rope me into now? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? I'm good. As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours. Thanks. Maybe some other time. Remember, Mr. Naruhodo, ignore me at your peril. I will kill you. Look at his face. This went serious. Back to being a waxwork again. Is it just me, or did his final remark there sound a lot like a curse? Or a threat? Okay, this is what I came here to ask him, so before I ask him that, it looks like I can examine these guys now. And there's different dialogue. These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human. That's how Hurley gets away with making himself a temporary exhibit for the day. Maybe there are other people posing as exhibits in here then? Or maybe all the exhibits are real people. And when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about. Okay, this is similar. Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already, and I was on my way home. Okay, that was almost the same. It was just an added comment about Hurley. Okay, so that nothing new then. Okay, back to you, Sholmes. So, let's talk about what I wanted to ask you. What do you want now? Well, what did you like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zieks. Ah, friend Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, I trust. Sure. Actually, he didn't seem very wish for wear. And so I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I'd learned. About Lord Van Zieks, about Professor Hairbrain, Bunny Brain, as I like to call him, and about the strange coincidence that they had been at university together. That is definitely a coincidence. I'm more concerned about, what happened to Van Zieks, though, to make him no, I'm kidding. So awesome. So, I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zieks such a different person. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. I'm sure that you know, Hurley. You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before. That something was afoot. And that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Sholmes. He suddenly clammed up. He's been acting weird about Van Zieks. Well, it seems we've reached the unavoidable... Greetings! Who are you? Who is it? Oh! A witch! I'm gonna assume, is that Madame Tusspell? Oh, hello. Where did she appear from? And what's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? Hey there, you're looking radiant. Here's my number. I hope you are appreciating my museum. Sorry? Have we? Mr. Sholmes, do you know this? Not again. And he's gone. My apologies, I'm Esmeralda Tusspells. This is my museum of waxwork. What? You're the Madame Tusspells? That's right. Bien sûr. Oh gosh, is she like French? They're only 26 years young, I might add. I don't know. Is that significant somehow? I mean Madame in name only. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi. Right. Whatever accent I'm doing, it's gonna be like a really faux, like, French accent. Like a knockoff French accent, because I can't do a good one. Right. Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks, or rather one waxwork in particular. That'll be Mr. Sholmes then. I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Oh, don't... I'm gonna burn your face off. Next time you move from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble. Oh crap! Oh wow! I love the animation. He got up so fast. He fell and then got up so fast. She sounds deadly serious. That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zieks now? Just don't forget what Hurley said before. About something being afoot. Right here in the museum, I mean. Yes, I know, but... I guess it wouldn't hurt to ask the one in charge. I'm so curious, I want to know what's happening here. Haven't we got enough on our plate already? Okay. Once again, just making sure none of the dialogue is different. See what happens if I click on Sholmes. Nobody's home. He's not even blinking now. He really is a perfect model of a waxwork model. I know it doesn't always seem like it, but Hurley's quite a perfectionist, in fact. He practices at night sometimes instead of sleeping. Not blinking, I mean. That's weird. Well, practice makes perfect, I suppose. I've just realized, though, seeing him standing over there now. He looks like he's that murderer's accomplice, doesn't he? Or henchman. Or henchman, even. No, I'm innocent, I tell you. That's news to someone by the look of it. I'm a good boy. Okay, I guess that's it. So, before we talk to you, would you like to take a look at my armband? Madam, there's something I'd like to show you. Yes, what is that? I remarked on it to myself immediately, and I've been very curious since. Ah, well, it's actually the mark of a defense lawyer in the Empire of Japan. Oh. Quel dommage. Not quite as interesting as I'd hoped. What exactly were you expecting from an armband? She was expecting a juicy story. I guess let's go down the line here. Could I show you this? Oh, how fascinating. Is this made of wax? No. Sorry. It's a piece of evidence. Evidence of what? Why would you want to show me this? She can only wax lyrical about wax, is that it? That's one way to put it. Okay, I didn't think she'd have anything to say about this, but I just wanted to make sure. Let us converse, my lady. Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tusspells? I did. I am the third generation of waxwork artisans, you know? Gosh! She's been in this game a while. It was my grandmother who began tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. So that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that heads to the astonishing lifelikeliness. I don't know what accent I'm giving her. My apologies. It's like once I edit, I'll be able to tell if it works or not, or if I sound ridiculous, and then I might change it, but I don't know, I've never really tried many French accents. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley. Haha. Hehe. How adorable. What do you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. Or the waxworks are created in the presence of real people, in which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions. That is the secret to the extraordinary lifelikeness. That sounds terrifying. All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out what one's creator par excellence, one must go to the extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which is the public wishes to see. Ugh. Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying? Like rainbows and unicorns and kittens? Do not fear. Sorry? This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians. Something for every taste, I hope. It was Iris who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it. Yeah. You could have been having a wonderful time. Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things. Well, just as well. This ended up being where, what's his face is? Sholmes is. Speaking of, the Great Detective Waxwork. What's the situation with that? Oh, my temporary waxwork model? He approached me some days ago, you see. With a business proposal. Oh, what sort of proposal? What do you think, Naruhodo? My dear madam, what these sparse exhibits need is the addition of our world-famous great detective. Or words to that effect. Sounds like him. Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective. It's a great detective, actually. He's very specific about it. Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms. Let me guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services? Correct. For a mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment. Oh god. That would be hilarious. I'll do it. Or words to that effect. Mr. Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch, but it worked. Oh, look at that bashful. She's so mysterious. Or it might just be the costume. But I dig it. I'm simping. Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. She has a cute smile too. And I'm done. So, we came to the current arrangement instead? Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing though, does he? I would think not, but he was very insistent. Yeah, we still don't know why he's doing it. Oh, I have a 50 shilling problem. That must be resolved by the morning. Whatever is to that effect. It's the pawnbroker that what is it? Wait, sorry. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem. Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Okay. What is afoot? I wonder. Could I ask you something? Bien sûr. I'll go ahead and say it anyway. I'm just curious. Is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps? No, nothing at all. Just ignores the dead body. I mean, what? What? Uh-oh. She got serious and hid her face behind her witch's hat. Whoever suggested such a thing to you? Oh, well, it was that guy over there. Oh. Your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me. What the heck? What the what? Oh, he's disappeared. A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. Ah, that him? There he is. There you are. Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working. Oh, my voice. Do you wish to be melted down? Stick your head in, sir. My dear Madame Tusspell, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about our current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. What? Are you on the crack? Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Haha. If I ever not. She's turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective, whose services you must employ for a mere 50 shillings. Though, please be aware that I prefer no. I insist upon payment in advance. I really need money, you see? Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Before I engage my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something. Is that a dead body behind the curtain? No. What prey is behind the curtain? That is the Tusspell special exhibit. There is an extra charge to see it. Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It must depict a special killer then, I presume? Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder? And go on a date with me? I mean, what? Oh, absolutely none. There's nothing amiss behind there. Nothing amiss, madam? Lies. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? Ah! I have been foiled. I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond, before the situation worsens. How do you miss that, though? Like, maybe it's not a dead body, but whatever it is, if she's trying to hide it, you think she would have caught that there's an arm sticking out and taken care of it. Do whatever you like. Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a soup can. Sorry, madam, I already had lunch. What are we gonna discover? Number 139, a grave. I must confess I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tusspell special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however, is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. Is it a real gentleman? That's the most pressing question at the moment. Well, then perhaps, Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself? Maybe he fell over. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even a waxwork, in fact. What? I didn't think so. As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. Could have fooled Ryunosuke. So, allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit. Ah, why would you say that? The fact that Sholmes is saying it means it's probably wrong. And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. Ah! She looks as cute as candle wax. As pale as candle wax. I don't understand. So, Madame Tusspell, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Okay, we're doing one of these. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Okay, this will be a much longer episode than I thought, which is good. I'm happy about that. Topic 1, Waxworks Fate. Hey, cutie. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. Interesting. It's money. It's not that interesting. In my estimation, some 200 pounds. That is all my own money. So, what does this large sum of money reveal? Oh, she is acting suspicious. Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tusspell. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed by that public notice. Okay, so that's important. A public notice. Waxwork for sale. Your business has had hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of 200 pounds. None! Now, let's just explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Bring it on, what's next? Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? No idea. It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock. That is just the homeless guy who lives down the street. I was giving him a place to stay. The cause of which is clearly known to you. Ah! Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. More money. What dealt the man with such a shocking blow was, of course, the 200 pounds. You slapped him over the face with it. It would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively. What are you suggesting? That he took the place of the actual killer? He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of 200 pounds, and then fell asleep for some reason. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extraordinate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we see before us. He collapsed in shock. Yeah, this seems very likely. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price. Ha, literally. We can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. Okay, conclusion. Sold for cash. Now we still have the second topic, which is waxwork location. Where is it now? The question that arises, then, is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment. You cannot possibly... What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. His ascot. Okay, what about it? It's yellow. It doesn't match his suit at all. What of it? Such as is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Oh, did not know that, if it's true. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman, currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay. What are you talking about? The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards. But... Next, we turn our attention to the old man set before with this particularly unsightly visage. He also has a handkerchief wrapped around his arm there. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle. Almost, in fact. As if he were a waxwork. Oh, but you... Your reaction only confirmed my suspicions, madam. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe. He's got the telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. It's probably just on the scarf. Threepence. I still don't know how to say that word. A tragically low price, you might say. Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks riddled with cracks. He's old as AF. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. The sort of plucky behaviour that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madam? I do not... Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police, and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. It's like they put him in the grave and then find out he's really alive. Okay. Let's conclude Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. I am ready to prove all of those points wrong. Because that sounds quite ridiculous. I don't know what the answers are yet, but... Like, the one thing I noticed that they both have a yellow, whatchamacallit? Yellow, handkerchief or whatever. Just in different spots on them. Again, going on what I said about the artwork, they could both be alive. I don't know why. Or you could have it reversed, because it would make sense that the man there might be alive. Like a real person, because he's sleeping. It seems unlikely that the guy who's standing would be. It also looks like he's behind... I just realized that. He's also behind rope. Whereas the guy sitting in the chair is not. He also is dressed like a police detective. So I think you might just have it in reverse. The guy sitting there might be the policeman, and the guy standing there is the exhibit. Anyway. Get ready, Mr. Sholmes, to die. I say I've stunned you all into silence. You have, Hurley, you have. Do it! And you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot. I give you permission to do whatever you like. If I could just bring up 1 point, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, the notorious never heard of 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So, that would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? Yes. The killer policeman, Automole. Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital one last year. Police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether. And it turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Automole. So you mean that's who the sinister-looking man there is supposed to be? Indeed, it is a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. But is £200 a lot of money for a wax model? It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things in perspective. So, it is quite a lot then. Is there anything else you wish to add before I kill you? Before I melt you? Before I melt you down? That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous. The smell of that molten wax is starting to worry me. Miss Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so yeah. I think I might have to call on your assistant here, Iris, if that's alright. To make some minor corrections to the great detective's great deductions. You got it. Of course it's alright. We'll soon set things straight. That's true, usually Susanoo is my partner for this. Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tusspell vents her anger. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tusspell, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Let's do it. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Topic 1, Waxwork's fate. Sold for cash. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helplessly from her bag. In my estimation, some £200. That is all of my own money. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tusspell. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Okay, that's our first thing we gotta contradict. She definitely looked in this direction, it's true. But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks, even for £200. Oh. She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything. For that much money, I would. But it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Shame on you, Inosuke. Well, anyway. I wonder if the £200 could have some other significance. Let's follow that foot of glance again and see if there's anything else that could explain it. Okay. I mean, it's not letting me click on much else. I mean, there's the body itself. Oh. That's probably it. But, I'll examine that last. Let's... Waxwork for sale. Would anyone really buy models of mass murderers? You'd be surprised, Runo. I think I'd rather have £200 in my pocket. Same. Exactly. You could buy one of those brand new types of steam carriage. That's what I'd spend it on if I had it. No question. Oh, I'd buy all the herbs in the world. There must be another explanation for the money. We need to keep looking. Okay. Well, there's the body. It seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all. Just not alive and kicking. And he's not a waxwork or a model of a mass murderer. I'm not sure I'd pay £200 for him. I don't think the man's up for sale. Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him. Other museum visitors could easily trip. I don't think the man was put there on purpose either. Nope. Don't think so. Okay, let's check this. This is probably what she was looking at. I see £200 on the wall. What's that note doing pinned on the wall there? Oh yes, let's see. Dear Madame Tusspell, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The price for a safe return is £200. Ah, a ransom. Have the money ready by noon on the 23rd of October. What? Nah, that has nothing to do with it. Let's keep looking. This is... It's just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone is kidnapped. Yes, it's a ransom note. Exactly. Okay. And £200, which is exactly the estimate of money she has in her pocket. So I think... I could be off base, but I think this is it. Just a random guess, mind you. Okay, let's go. Present. There we go. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so, we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness, abducting a waxwork. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, don't act like you knew this all along. Ah! £200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it. The model in question has special importance, so I put together all the money I have. In summary then, the £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Let's keep on trucking. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? Still no idea. It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock. The cause of which is clearly known to you. Ah! dang flabby. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man with such a shocking blow is, of course, the 200 pounds. You think so, though? So, if the waxworks was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is? We could just ask him when he comes round. I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris. Yes, you're right. Hurley's trying so hard, we mustn't let him down. Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Tusspell trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Okay, what are you trying to hide? What's behind your hand? Okay. I see an empty hand. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. It took me a moment. So she has she's hiding a wax hand behind her back. Whose? It doesn't look like it. Wait, is it? Hang on. Oh, is it this guy's? Because we can't see that side of him. And it looks like... Okay, now I can't see it that well. Oh, wait. Let me move that. That's why. It looks like... Oh my gosh, come on. Yeah, it's like it's the same sleeve. It might be that guy's hand. Okay, anyway. Can I examine your gorgeous face? No? Okay. Bruno, can you stop hitting on her? Sorry. Okay, I can't really examine anything else. Okay. Oh, wait. Ooh, the long hair braid. Very pretty. That's what it is. It's fake. It's an extension. Madame Tusspell has very long hair, doesn't she? Yes, but you couldn't tell looking at her from the front. You know, that's rather like a whip, don't you think? The sort of whip that could floor the gentleman with a single crack. Whip me harder, Miss Tusspell. Bruno, you're so weird. That seems a little far-fetched. Even for you, Bruno. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at the hand here. It's certainly not her hand. This is just Madame Tusspell's right hand, isn't it? Yes, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand, after all. Oh, but wait a minute. This is her left hand as well. Look. Weird. Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please. And it seems very stiff, too. In fact, it's really hard. That's not the only thing that's hard. What did you say, Bruno? Nothing. You mean... It's made of wax? Okay, that's what it is. Let's present.
Take that!
What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. What'd you slap him with it? Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow. Oh, okay. So he really did. How could you? The hand protruding... Oh, that's me. The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that, in fact, it's a left hand. Ah! And somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madam. It is the hand of a waxwork model. Your hands are much prettier than that. Kya! Yep, there we go. Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage. So you mean that arm? Yes, these gentlemen saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir. No small keepsake, yeah, I'd say. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms. Ah, look at Ryunosuke's face. I am afraid I teach the man a lesson. Anyway, moving on. You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. And as a result, the scene we see before us, he was knocked unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being we have our conclusion. Okay. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. Okay, that's our new conclusion. Kidnapped. On to the next one. Waxwork location. Discovered already. Is it though? The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment. You cannot possibly... I can, possibly. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to other policemen that some crime is underway. A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard. No, so I think he does think that that's a real detective. That Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away. Well, uncovering secrets is any true detective's nature, of course. Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Tusspell's reaction to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. Am I right about the hand? Yep, missing arm. Let's examine the neckerchief. A secret scarf sign to warn other agents of an ongoing crime. I know! It sounds so thrilling, doesn't it? Maybe I'll try to work it into next month's installment. You do that. But then the police's secret will be revealed to all of London's 6 million inhabitants. Oh well. Well, they'll just have to come up with a new sign, I suppose. How does this 10-year-old manage to have such terrifying influence? I'm an influencer. Okay, anything else? Not really. There's pictures on the walls. Okay, I think just the hand then, I guess. Oh, the hat! I've seen hats like this in Japan as well. They're called flat caps, aren't they? Yes, or hunting caps. Hurley's hat is called a deer stalker, by the way. Cool. Hunting, stalking. The British certainly seem keen on catching game. Every time I see a deer stalker, I automatically think of Mr. Sholmes. But a flat cap makes me think of a Japanese country gentleman somehow. In other words, people from all walks of life wear all different types of hats. So that doesn't really help us. Nope. Not significant in the slightest. This, however, the shoulder stub. What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be. Ah, well, that settles that then. Right. This isn't a real person at all. His entire arm's been ripped off from the shoulder down. His arm's been... Of course. That ties in with what we just found out. Okay, present. He's an amputee! We solved it. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his shoulder stub. No such boneless humans walks this earth. Or of that I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model. Who would have thunk? I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes. Don't think you can get away from that. He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man. Naturally, what other explanation could there be? And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with the particular unsightly visage. Like I said, this guy might be an actual policeman. He's dressed like one. I've been watching closely, and he hasn't moved a muscle almost, in fact, as if he were a waxwork. Oh, but you... Your reaction only confirmed my suspicions, madam. I noticed that at once, of course. Observe. Like I said, I'm assuming that's not attached to him, but maybe the scarf he's wearing. Okay, price tag. A killer policeman called Ottermole, was it? Was he well known? It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like. It's a very low price, though. Threepence isn't much money. Only enough for a few measly hours of gas and Mr. Garrett's delightful lodgings, in fact. So, this is the special killer taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for £200. Is this crusty old killer policeman Ottermole? Really? It doesn't add up. Perhaps we should have a good look around again and see if another idea crops up. Yeah, he'd be worth much more if, oh. Okay, there we go. 3 pence. It's a far cry from £200, isn't it?
For threepence, you could buy it and put it on display in your room, Runo.
I think I'd rather not go to sleep being watched by an old man if it's all the same to you.
Why not? This price tag does stand out, doesn't it? I mean, you couldn't even buy the helmet on his head for that much money. I don't think.
I wonder what the price tag's really for then. Like I said, probably the scarf, but... Okay, let's check the scarf on his arm.
I don't believe it. It's the secret sign that lets other detectives it's a secret sign that the detectives know some criminal activity is underway.
Yes. It's a slightly strange choice of outfit if he was trying to go unnoticed.
He must be a detective disguised as a policeman.
Or a detective disguised as a waxwork model of a policeman.
He doesn't look like he's clever enough to think of something like that, though.
Perhaps you should try to be a little more polite about him, Iris. Yeah. It reminds me of Professor Lupin. Just chilling. He's gonna just pop up. Cast Expecto Patronum. Save the day. Okay, obviously... This shows he's alive. Look at this. The old man's tapping his foot like crazy.
He seems to be fast asleep, though.
He's not tapping his foot consciously then, so you mean...
It must be a twitch.
Never mind that. The point is waxworks don't tap their feet. Unless it's electronic.
Or twitch.
Look at his arm, too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we? So do I present this? I feel like either one maybe, but...
Take that!
Take that! The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic waxworks do not exhibit a twitch. Good find, Mr. Sholmes. In other words, this splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. Slight shift in your choice of adjectives, then. And there you have it. Well, Madame Tusspell?
Well, what? What do you want from me? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place. He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep.
But then, what's this tag about showing a price of 3 pence? No doubt the price tag of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at a local market. My thoughts exactly. And I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that not strike you, Mr. Navajodo? Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway.
Of course, because as you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, detective.
So, it would seem that we finally arrived at the truth. Yes, we have. Snap! The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard are already investigating. Makes sense to me. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus conclude Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Dun dun dun. Still a mystery. Solved. Now what is it? I still don't know what this has to do with anything. Deduction complete. Elementary, my dear Rianosque. Yeah, I still have no idea what this has to do with. We have so much going on. We have the case with, with Asman and Harebrain. We got the thing with Van Zieks being attacked and his apprentice. And now this, which apparently connects to it all. So much happening. It's hard to keep track, but it's exciting.
All sorts of people visit my museums here. Men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in for just a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I kill them. I mean, I do not take it lightly. Anyway. I bid you adieu.
She's so graceful.
Your great deduction was more than enchanting than I've been led to believe.
Yeah. It was a pleasure, my dear madam. Now, how about that date I mentioned earlier? I'm gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I've no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display. If it was indeed genuinely abducted...
Yes, tragically, it was.
Then I would ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. In as much detail, if you please.
Very well. But after I've told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work.
You're on the clock. Very well. The talent of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel. But as you wish. I'll get right on that. Okay. It's just a collapsed man.
Indeed. At least it turned out he's not one of the mass murderer's victims.
True. But he is one of the waxworks victims in a way, isn't he?
He's not showing any signs of life.
Because he really is dead? I hope not.
Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection. No, thank you. Wait, is there something else there? Oh no, never mind. Okay, nothing new there. Okay. Yeah, this episode ends up being longer than I thought it would be. Okay. The stolen waxwork. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please.
It was some days ago now, when I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that the waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. It is your most prominent display, so that's why the curtains were closed. And I found the ransom note in its place. The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then. So this waxwork was stolen. It was a mortal or some horrible criminal, I suppose. That it was. A very particularly horrible criminal, in fact. The killer who left a more profound scar in society than any other. I would say, the Professor.
Ooh, that's a cool name. Not a name I've heard of. The Professor. So, Mr. Naruhodo, it seems the circle is complete. Sorry?
The Professor case happened at around the time I was born, didn't it?
Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital. 10 years ago? Is he still alive? Yes, at exactly the time. That bad one Zieks graduated from university, in fact. Oh, what? Surely he's not saying.
So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life...
Oh, did it have to do with him? Oh, did this mass murderer, like, maybe kill his family, his parents, a loved one? I do surmise. It was the Professor case. Oh, dang. Who is this Professor, then? The Professor. Let's hear it.
It was a series of gruesome murders that have all of London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death.
Okay, so he is dead, okay. Oh, so we think. And now he's immortalized here and waxed for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though, of course, he happened to be absent at present, on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zieks? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why is it that the Professor earned such infamy? It was due to the victims he chose, some of Whitehall's finest.
What do you mean, Hurley?
Those murdered by the Professor were some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. Members of the nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves to the courtroom's administration. Members of the... wait, of course. What Professor Harebrained said. Lord Van Zieks is from a family with noble blood.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I feel like he killed his family, or his parents or something. It was the 5th victim that led to the Professor's arrest.
The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of Clint Van Zieks. Okay, so his father. I wonder if this is what spurred him to become a prosecutor. No. I don't believe it. Van Zieks? Oh boy, it's getting steamy in here. I'm not just talking about Miss Tusspell. I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Barrack pursued a career as a prosecutor. Oh, brother, okay. I mean, not any better, but I thought it was his father. And eventually became the Reaper we know today. I had no idea Lord Van Zieks had such a tragic past. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter. For the time being, at least. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit. Aha! Okay, you get back to it. I am afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well. No, don't go. Oh yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Call me. Well, we learned a lot. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here. I don't know who's talking. Oh. It's been too long, it really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barrack. It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in a prison of all places. I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen. Tomorrow, the court will decide. Yes. I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. It seems reliable enough, though. Well, he seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident. A terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it. I must warn you. Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. I will destroy you. Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Why are you facing this way? Maybe it's just so that we can see them both, but it's funny. It just looks like you're just like staring away from him, just talking to the wall. Barrack, are you really? What? Spit it out. Never mind. I know that you have my best interest at heart. Huh. My friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust her to anybody else. Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Barrack. Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. So it sounds like he is, like, not trying to destroy him. Like, he has some, like, plan. He is actually trying to help him. That's what it sounds like, anyway. To be continued. Alright. I'm glad there was a decent amount still left. I was afraid that was going to be a really short section and it would end after like 20 minutes or something. I'm glad to be proven wrong. Okay. That's it, guys. So, in the next chapter, or next episode rather, we will be starting the trial. Man, as I said already, there's so much going on. And this has been a great case so far. We haven't even gotten to the trial yet, and it's already been, this investigation alone has been great, because we've just been learning so much. We'll be getting all these revelations, or at least, these little tidbits, these little pieces. Just makes me want to know more. So yeah, we got to visit Madame Tusspell. I was simping over her, but just don't worry about it. I like her a lot, if that wasn't obvious. No, she's cool. Hopefully I'll have to see in editing how my accent is. I might adjust the voice if it sounds horrible. You can let me know in the comments if you like it or not, of course. But yeah, so we now know that we learned about the professor
that he killed Van Zieks' brother, and that has to do with the incident. Like I said, it's probably why he became a prosecutor in the first place. So yeah, a lot going on. Like I said, so now we know at least how that is, at least somewhat connected. That aspect of it is connected to the Van Zieks thing. But you have that. You have, like I said, you have the harebrain and asthma and stuff. But, I mean, it's all connected, obviously. Because we know harebrain is connected to Van Zieks, and this wax figure stuff is connected to, Van Zieks as well. So I'm just very excited to learn more about Van Zieks and his past. I was thinking, I keep thinking back to, I'm trying to keep it in mind as I go, like who that Van Zieks' apprentice could be. I'm like, could we find out his brother isn't dead and that's his brother? Or maybe the professor is really alive? I don't know. And I'm still wondering if the wax figure disappearing could maybe have to do with the, because there was an explosion, right? I don't know if they ever found Asmund's body, so maybe the body that was put in the machine and teleported or that flew off or whatever was the professor's wax effigy. I don't know if any of that makes sense. We haven't even gone to the trial yet. It's still very early. I'm just, like I said, I like to be transparent and just throw ideas out as they come. And if it makes me sound like a fool, so be it. But that's all I have to say for now, guys. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell as well so you know when more videos go up. And of course, share the video and the channel with your friends, family, and loved ones. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day/night, and I will hope to see you next time. So take care, and bye-bye.